Hello, Vinyl community. How you doing? It's Bill with the Vinylverse. Did you ever listen to an album or song and it reminded you of a friend? Well, that's what this video is going to be about. Recently, I don't know, I've been a little down. Got some friends who are going through some things, medical things, just other stuff, life. I'm okay though, but what always brings me up is music and thinking of my friends and the friendships that I have. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to go through some records that remind me of VC friends I have in the VC. I've been doing these videos since March of 2018, I think it was. And over the past however many years, 7.5 years, I've made a bunch of friends, and I really cherish the friendships, and it's all because of music and vinyl records. So this video is going to celebrate that. If you want to do a response and show some albums that remind you of people in the VC, that would be great. So obviously I couldn't include everybody, but I do have 20 here. So I'm going to go through these pretty quickly. But these are just some albums that when I play them or even look at them, they remind me of some friends in the VC. So a lot of these, I'm sure you know most, if not all of these channels or members of the VC. I will link everybody down below for you to check out, and I encourage you to do that if you're not familiar with someone. But yeah, I'm going to get started. And who better off to start off with than Rob Paniques in Boston. Rob in Boston. Anytime I hear or see Led Zeppelin, he immediately comes to mind because he is a big Led Zeppelin fan. He's always sharing a story, showing his ticket stubs, which is awesome when he puts up a video, stuff like that. But Rob, he's one of the best. He's one of the nicest, and he watches pretty much every video there is, and he takes the time to comment. I'm sure you're all aware. I'm sure he's commented on your videos as well. So Rob, you're a great friend, and I can't see or listen to Led Zeppelin without thinking of you. Next, everybody's big sister, Lise, or LE. She doesn't post videos all that frequently. Pretty much, I don't know if she's retired from making videos or not, but she's another one. Just biggest heart, cares about everybody, and she's great. She always comments. But anytime I hear the song "Misunderstanding" by Genesis, reminds me of Lise. Years ago, I think she even did it twice, but she did a video of her lip syncing and dancing around to Genesis' song "Misunderstanding," and it was great. She had fun, and I just loved it. And this song always reminds me of her, and yeah. So I wanted to share that. Next is my buddy Richard up in South Dakota, Vinylizing Progger. We share a lot of the same interests in musically. I think he's probably much more adventurous than I am. But he's turned me on to a lot of good music, and one of his favorite artists is Terry A. Riptall. I always think of Richard when I hear Terry A. Riptall, listen to his music, or hear his name. Richard is the first thing that pops into my head. And this past year, Richard was kind enough to VCLT me a Terry A. Riptall and Elephant Nine album, which I love. So there's Terry A. there. So Vinylizing Progger, Terry A. Riptall. Great friend in the VC. Next, my buddy Dave down in Charlotte. Longtime friend here in the VC. Met up with Dave several times when I travel down to Charlotte. We get out with John, hit up some shops, and it's always a great time. Didn't happen this past year because we had different vacation plans, but hopefully we'll be going down again this upcoming year. But Dave, he turned me onto this record, and yeah, and I love this one too. So this is Something Different by Dexter Gordon Quartet on Steeplechase. And when Dave talked about this album, I think he even said it's his favorite Dexter Gordon, or he might have framed it as his best. But, you know, because Dave talked about it, I was able to pick up a copy, and yeah, I love this album. And I can't not think of Dave without, when I play this album, I always think of Dave and how highly he spoke of this album. Okay, next. These next four, these are some of my best friends, and we talk daily, or, you know, chat, I should say. But Emma, 8 Vinyl Low. How can you not listen to Cheap Trick without thinking of Emma? Her all-time favorite band. She's probably seen Cheap Trick 100 times. She's met most of the band members, I think. But I'm a Cheap Trick fan too, and every time I pull a Cheap Trick record, I automatically think of Emma. So there you go. Tim, High Noon's Vinyl down in Orlando. My twin. Biggest Jimi Hendrix fan there is. So of course, anytime I'm going to play Jimi Hendrix, I'm thinking of Tim. Tim and I share a birthday. We share a birth year. We never confirmed the times we were born, but we were born on the exact same day. So we're kind of twins in the VC. That's like what we like to joke about. But he's a huge Hendrix fan, very knowledgeable about music, and he knows everything there is to know about Hendrix. So of course, I'm going to think of Tim when I play Jimmy. My buddy John, also down in Charlotte. The Digital Gramophone. Makes no sense. So John's a great friend. Like Dave, John and I have met up good handful of times now when I visit Charlotte. John's great. His videos are great. He also is very knowledgeable. And yeah, so John, I'm going to show a CD because I don't have this album on vinyl. And I know John is very high on this one. Bruce Springsteen, Nebraska. John is a big Springsteen fan. He's taken his entire family to see him, so he's shown videos of his kids at the Springsteen concert, which I love to see. And anytime I pull a Springsteen record or think of Bruce Springsteen, I automatically go to John, think of him. So I think Nebraska is one of John's favorite albums by Bruce. I don't recall exactly if it was number one, top 3 maybe. But yeah, John the Digital Gramophone. Then there's my buddy Jeff Kempen. Jeff, he doesn't have much time these days to focus on YouTube videos or making any videos or even watching. He's a busy guy, busy with work. We miss him here in the VC, but able to talk with Jeff every day. So this past year, every year leading into the next year, I say I'm going to maybe focus a little more on a certain genre of music for my collection. This year was the blues. I've added some nice blues albums this year. And leading into the year, I remember asking this chat group with Emma, Tim, John, and Jeff some recommendations. And Jeff recommended this album. Jeff's very big into the blues, but it's Showdown by Albert Collins, Robert Cray, and Johnny Copeland. from the mid 80s, and it's great. I do love it. And this was Jeff's recommendation, and so anytime I pull this album, I'm automatically thinking of Jeff. Thanks for the recommendation, Jeff. Yeah, so wish you had time to hop on YouTube every now and then. It would be great to see you, but we all understand why. Some great Electric Blues here. Enjoy that one. Okay, Steve Carlson. Everybody knows Steve. Yeah, everybody knows Steve. And I don't know if this record is his all-time favorite record, but I know it's his Miles Davis his favorite record of Miles Davis, In a Silent Way. Yeah, what can I say about Steve? Just super guy, genuine, fun. Got to meet Steve. He came into town and we went record digging and had some dinner. And that was truly special to me. That was during COVID. Steve actually sent me one of my very first VCLT packages. May have even been the second one I ever received. I can't quite remember. But he sent me this album. It wasn't this copy, but it was this album, In a Silent Way by Miles Davis, along with some other things. And which was very generous. And yeah, I love this album. This has always been one of my favorite Miles records. So yeah, Steve. It's like Uncle Steve. Sunday Morning Hour Show. He's got his weekday videos. He's got his podcast. Steve's just great. And I can't listen to this album or see it without thinking of my buddy Steve. Okay, next, Baraka P-Dub, Paul, down in Texas. Another great friend, very generous guy. Does great videos when he has the time to do them. I know he's another very busy guy. He doesn't put out much content anymore, but when he did, they were always, the production value was always really great. And he always seemed to come at music, and he always seems to come at music and his videos from a different angle, which I always appreciated and enjoyed. I know Paul is a big fan of Grant Green, so anytime I see Grant Green, I think of Paul. Paul actually gifted me a Grant Green album several years ago. I guess I should have pulled that one, but this is Born to Be Blue, and yeah, I think of Paul every time I play Grant Green. All right, next, Anthony Ferraro. So Anthony doesn't really make videos, but he does show up on YouTube. He shows up on panels, so he's part of In the Prog Seat on the Sea of Tranquility channel. He's shown up in some other streams lately, videos, which has been fun to see. But Anthony's a good friend. We're both in Pennsylvania. We've never met up. Hopefully someday that'll happen. Another very generous guy. He's very into prog. And this album is, I don't remember where it ranks, but it's either number 2 or number 3 in his top favorites. And that's UK Danger Money. So anytime I listen to this album or see it, I think of Anthony. Anthony is a huge Eddie Jobson fan. He loves his Eddie Jobson. So if I see or hear Eddie Jobson, also immediately think of Anthony. I wish Anthony would start his own channel and make some videos. I think he'd be good at it and would have some interesting things to talk about. So Anthony, if you're watching, make some videos. Okay, next, Gorvo31, Carm, out in Chicago. He hasn't been making videos lately either. I think he's on a break, which is perfectly fine. But another good friend, and I can't listen to Tangerine Dream without thinking of Carm. Carm, he's probably the most knowledgeable person in the VC, if not on the planet, about Tangerine Dream. So he, yeah, I miss you, Carm. I miss your videos. Hopefully you'll come back someday and make some videos. But yeah, Tangerine Dream. I think Zeit is one of his favorites as well. It's one of my favorites, and I think it's one of Carm's as well. All right, next is Michael P. Dawson. I always said that Michael P. Dawson is my spirit animal. Michael's great. He's one of my favorite channels to watch. He puts out a video every Friday. Michael's been very generous with me, and he sent me a lot of Frank Zappa. I don't recall exactly if this was one he sent to me. I don't think it was. But several years, a good handful of years back, he sent me a package, and there was, I forget how many, Frank Zappa albums. Extremely generous of Michael, and he has a picture of Frank on his wall. Depending on the view of his video, you can see it. But yeah, anytime I see or hear Frank Zappa, I'm going to think of Michael P. Dawson. He's one of the best at talking about the music, I feel, in the VC. I don't know if it's the research he puts into his videos, or if it's just his natural knowledge from over the years. But he's always chock full of information talking about music. He's a musician himself, so that lends it to him speaking to the music. But he's a big Frank Zappa fan, and listening to Frank always reminds me of Michael P. Dawson. My buddy Chris Profi, musically obsessed. He is a big Monkees fan, like I am, and this is his favorite Monkees album, I believe. Chris, you can correct me if I'm wrong, if you're watching. But this is the Monkees Present. Man, what doesn't Chris like? Chris likes everything across the board, but he is a huge Monkees fan. So I think he pretty much has everything there is to have. Pardon me. But yeah, I'll pull this album and immediately think of Chris. Okay, next is Rick and Records. Rick, he's more on Facebook now. He's not really doing videos. He kind of paused his channel. He's done that a few times. I don't know if he'll come back making videos. I think he's out in Missouri. But Rick, he is the biggest Marillion fan. And I love Marillion too. And anytime I pull a Marillion record, I'm thinking of Rick. Rick, you're another one that I hope you come back and make videos. Always enjoyed them. Yeah, so Rick's pretty active on Facebook. He listens to a lot of music. He posts on Facebook what he's listening to or getting ready to listen to, and then he updates every quarter his statistics, and it's really, really impressive. But Marillion, I'm thinking of Rick when I'm playing them. Okay, next, Bremer McCoy. This is their album Ordette. I think that's how you pronounce it. That's how I read it. But my friend Jacob in the channel New Sounds and Old, he turned me on to Bremer McCoy, and then he pretty much fleshed out my entire Bremer McCoy catalog by sending me their records VCLT. And not only did he send me their records, but he met them and had them autograph them. So there was a good 3 records, I think, that he sent me of Bremer McCoy. I haven't picked up their most recent album. They are kind of a jazz duo, piano and bass, like stand-up bass. Very interesting music, very calming. I really enjoy it. But Jacob, good friend in the VC, he's another one that hasn't been making many videos. Jacob's in Denmark, if I didn't mention that already. I just love Jacob's personality. He's very self-deprecating. I find him funny, but he likes good music, and yeah, he's a good friend in the VC. So Bremer McCoy, I think of Jacob, of course. Next, Flash Gordon, one record at a time. Now, Gordon Flash, he doesn't make videos that much also anymore. He might pop up once a year, or just randomly he might put out a couple of videos. But he's very into 45s. He's got thousands. The number 3,000 is in my head. I could be wrong on that. But he's very into punk and like new wave. So whenever I have lots of 45s too, and whenever I pull like something from the 80s, or here's the Psychedelic Furs, The Ghost in You, this immediately reminds me of Gordon. So yeah, Flash Gordon, one record at a time. Wish he would get back to making videos. But, it is what it is. Next, my buddy Robert Z. He doesn't really make many videos anymore. He's getting back to doing his collection type videos, which is always interesting because his collection is pretty amazing. But I can't listen to, this album, Tormato by Yes, or Yes in general. Lots of other stuff too, but this album specifically, this was a gift to me from Robert. And he told a really touching story about his life, a personal story, and how it kind of tied into this record. This was a record store day, record store day release. He gifted it to me one year, and he told a real sentimental, personal story. And along with this, he also gifted me a concert ticket and program from him seeing Yes with his daughter. Maybe it was 20 years later from this album, and he talked about his life and from this time and that time, and it was quite touching. And so I can't not listen to this album, not this picture disc specifically. I just keep this, but don't play it. I have the actual album in the collection. So I think of Robert. Getting towards the end here. All right. Also down in North Carolina, Tommy Burton, Tommy's Musical Adventures. He is a big Michael Nesmith fan, as am I. Papa Nez. I can't play Michael Nesmith without thinking of Tommy, knowing what a big fan Tommy is. One of these years, I'm going to go to meet up with Tommy. It hasn't worked out in years past, but someday. Yeah, I love Michael Nesmith, and so does Tommy, so I always think of him when I play Michael Nesmith. And as they say, last but not least is my friend up in Montreal, Bernard Jean. He is a huge Boston fan, and if I'm ever playing Boston or see Boston, I immediately think of him. Such a nice guy. He's got a beautiful family. He's featured his family on his channel before. He's another one that doesn't post a lot of videos, maybe a few a year, but great guy and a good friend. And yeah, Boston always reminds me of him. And with that, that is every thing I wanted to show here. So, yeah, I don't know if this could be started up as a thread, if anyone else wanted to go and do something similar to this. But I just wanted to, you know, feature some of my friends that are in the VC and talk about their channels and albums that remind me of them. So with that, I'm going to sign off here. Hope everyone's doing well. Years going by fast. And like I always say, I hope to be back soon with another video. So fingers crossed for that. I have things I want to do, and I hope to see everybody soon. Take care. Bye now.